Hey y'all, it's Russell Buck Fletcher, and I'm sitting out in my truck on this beautiful day. It's very cold and rainy right now. We got another storm front coming through. Anyway, today is Monday. Well, I know it's Monday for sure, but it's April 6th, 2020. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. And we're still under quarantine advisement. And that's starting to drive some people up the wall, including myself. And, I'm out having to do stuff today. That's why I'm out in my truck, getting it warmed up. Stuff that's necessary. I gotta go mail my taxes. Because you gotta pay those taxes so that you can help support people that don't want to work, and support corporations that don't do things that they need to do, like have a rainy day fund. Rainy day fund. Get it? Ha ha ha. And so there's that. And gotta go deposit a couple checks, because the only way that business survives is money comes in, money goes out. And checks come in, checks get written, money goes out. So I gotta go do some banking, and gotta go pick up some supplies. I'm debating whether to do that today or tomorrow. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, I have tutoring sessions tomorrow with some kids that have been affected by this COVID-19 thing, and school's being shut down for the rest of the academic year. So there's that. And that's one of the things that's kind of been bugging me. Is, a lot of people are talking about how seniors are missing out on, senior prom, and there's graduation, all this other stuff, and one of the things that children should be sad about is the fact that, the last day of school, when, right before they went on spring break, what we used to call Easter break, but now it's spring break. They didn't know that they were not going to come back, and they didn't get to say their proper goodbyes and thank yous to their teachers, who after senior year they'll be singing a whole new light. Friends, you separate by a week, and then you get back together like we all did in high school. But there's a lot of people there that are making a huge deal out of senior prom, graduation, graduation ceremony, all that other stuff. And I personally have never understood the meaning behind it. Even going back as far as high school. Because back when I was in grade school and middle school, they didn't have elementary school graduation, middle school graduation. It was, you're moving on up, get out of here. And that's one of the things that has puzzled a lot of people about me over the years. Is I have never been to any one of my graduations, and it wasn't because it was, because I couldn't afford the cap and gown or any of that. I just don't personally see what the big deal is. The big thing about education is to get educated, to become educated, to learn information and retain that information so that you can use it in the future. A lot of people, in my eyes, view it as, I go through all this so I can go through the graduation ceremony. And I've never really seen it that way. And a lot of people, in fact, it's really funny. back when I was a pre-med student, we would, all of us guys in the CCM club, Chicanos Latinos for the Community Medicine, which was a pre-med club at Porterville College. That's still around. I was vice president for a while. We'd sit around, we'd talk about, when we graduate from med school, what we're going to do. And, I was the only one that would say, I'm not planning on going to my med school graduation. I have no interest in going to my med school graduation, unless it's required by the institution that I attend, because I see no reason for it. I have, by that point I would have my medical doctorate and, my DEA license, and I'd already have taken my exams to, get into my residency, wherever that would be, wherever I'd be placed. And I had people ask me, they're like, why don't you want to go through graduation? And I just don't see the need for it. Why would I spend my time and my money to do something like that? To me, it makes no sense. So I think a lot of people are now looking at it, and they're bemoaning all this. And some people are starting to realize that, does it really serve a real purpose? Not really. Is it something fun to do? Well, to some people, I guess it is. To me, it wasn't. But what I'm trying to get at here is I want people to remember that the whole point of education, to go through your education process, is not so you can reach the end and go through a graduation ceremony with pomp and circumstance playing and the gowns and the mortarboards and all that other stuff. It's the knowledge itself that is important. I've known a lot of people who have graduated college, who have graduated universities, who have graduated graduate schools. Even know a couple of people with doctorates, education doctorates, science doctorates, philosophy doctorates, who are complete idiots. I mean, seriously, complete idiots. They may be experts in their particular field, but in life in general, they are ignorant. And it's because they didn't learn, and that's one of the things that has always astounded me, is that somebody could spend so much time in school and learn so little. But yet they went through the graduation ceremony and everything, and I know a couple of people who have made a huge thing about, oh yeah, I went through the graduation ceremony, and I wore my gown, and I had my 3 stripes because I was a doctorate now, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, cool, what'd you learn? Oh, I can't really recall what I learned. Okay, seems like a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money so that you could go through a 3-hour ceremony that will be forgotten in a few years. But if you really want to know if a graduation ceremony is important, think about it like this. How many of you who went through the graduation ceremony and everything have actually sat down and looked at the photos and looked at the video of your graduation day? Think about that for a second. How many people have actually sat down and looked at the video and looked at the photos of their graduation day and reminisced about it? I'm going to say probably not a whole lot. So there's that to think about. just remember, education is about learning stuff. It's not about getting to a certain point where you can dress up and have a party. You can dress up and have a party anytime. I mean, shoot, we could have pandemic parties if it wasn't for the fact that, we shouldn't be together. And, frankly, a party's no fun if you gotta be 6 feet apart from each other. I mean, seriously, not everybody has the booming voice like some of us have been blessed with to cover that 6 feet and quite a ways beyond. So, with all that being said, I gotta get out of here. It's starting to slow down a little bit. Things are starting to open up, like the bank and the post office and stuff. And not only that, but, how long do you really want to listen to a fat guy in a brown fedora sitting in his truck, rattle on about graduation ceremonies and other things? And yes, I realize I just touched my face, but I washed my hands a little while ago, so it should be fine. Not only that, but those of you that know me know how many infections I've been through, and I'm too ornery and too stubborn to die. I really am. So with all that being said, you have a great day. Be safe out there. If you're driving out in this rain, at least in my local area, be safe. Be conscientious of the other drivers, and just remember that when it rains after it's been dry for a little while, that the oil and stuff that has been deposited onto the road surface floats up, so the roads may be a little bit more slippery than they usually are. So keep that in mind as you're driving. And other than that, you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.